Welcome class 12th. Before starting this lecture, let me mention one thing that your economics syllabus has been revised and all the agrarian reforms we did, that is institutional reforms, technical reforms or general reforms. So general reforms and technical reforms are not in your syllabus now. Only just institutional reforms you have to do. Institutional reform, another name is land reform. So only these reforms you have to do. Neither technical reforms nor general reforms is there in your syllabus. Fine. So let's begin with our lecture of chapter 3, features, problems and policies of agriculture. Now see, in this lecture, we shall discuss about the achievement of agrarian reforms, that is a green revolution. Fine. And now let's discuss the features of green revolution. See, features of green revolution: spurt in crop productivity means increase in crop productivity, a rise in area under cultivation. Earlier less area was there under cultivation. Due to green revolution, area under cultivation arose. Now shift from subsistence farming to commercial farming. Earlier farmers were just earning for their family. They were earning that much only which was sufficient to eat, or which was sufficient to consume the necessary food items. Now they started earning with the profit motive. They started selling their surplus in the market. देन चेंज इन दी फार्मर्स आउटलुक कैसे चेंज हुआ? वो अब मार्केट सरप्लस पर फोकस करने लगे, कमर्शियल फार्मिंग की तरफ चले गए. सेल्फ सफिशिएंसी, नाउ इंडिया इज सेल्फ सफिशिएंट इन फूड ग्रेन्स. इन केस ऑफ क्राइसिस इंडिया नीड नॉट टू बोरो फ्रॉम अदर कंट्री, इट हैज इट्स ओन सफिशिएंट स्टॉक. Then we have limitation. Now see, in green revolution, limited crops were focused, that is wheat and rice. Not all the crops were given focus. Then uneven spread. Green revolution was spread in Punjab, Haryana, Maharashtra and Tamil Nadu only, not in all the states of the country. So these were two limitations. Then we have limited farming population. Limited farming population means only limited population was engaged in agriculture, and this farming population who supported a green revolution, or who was there in the states in which this was their green revolution, that only those states participated. Secondly, there were less population which could use HYV seeds, chemical fertilizers and pesticides. So there we can say that limited participation or limited farming population was there. Then we have economic divide. Gulf between rich and poor increased. Fine. And this led to the economic divide between the poor farmers and the rich farmers, because rich could easily afford the HYV seeds or the better facilities, better variety of seeds or permanent means of irrigation, where poor can't afford those. So these were the limitations of green revolution. Now see, there is one question: does India need another green revolution? Yes is an obvious answer. It is an undisputed fact that gains of green revolution have started shrinking. This is particularly true when the gains are viewed in relation to our needs and in relation to our countries have achieved. Now there are certain observations which would prove that there is a need to another green revolution. Now see, our productivity standards are extremely low compared to other nations. Food grain stocks are a point of uncertainty. Most farmers in India continues to face uncertainties of weather. Loan waivers are becoming a recurring compulsion. Farmers continue to be exposed to uncertainties of the market. That means still the limitation in agriculture exists. So there is another need of green revolution. Merits of green revolution and limitations. Limitations were limited crops, uneven spread, limited farming population and economic divide. Fine. Whereas if we talk about the merits of green revolution, that was increase in productivity, crop productivity, substantial rise in area under cultivation, shift from subsistence farming to commercial farming, change in farmers outlook, self sufficiency in food grains. Self sufficiency means increase in crop productivity has been so substantial that India has started maintaining its own buffer stock. It need not to take credit from other countries.